Okay, I'm back, bitches. Whew. I'm sweating already, and it is not even 10 a.m. yet. I'm in a different location today because the fireball in the sky is chasing me. It thinks we're in like an ever after trajectory, and I'm like, I've had enough of you, go away. Our house faces, okay, I'm facing the back of our house right now. That faces west, so that fireball all afternoon in our backyard. And my knitting room, which is upstairs and back there, faces east, so fireball all morning. So it is like currently fireball temperature of the face of the sun upstairs in my knitting room. So I can't podcast from there this morning. I am sweating because I had to move everything up and downstairs. I think it's already, I don't know, 1,000,000 degrees in my house. Pardon my voice. It's a long story. I'll tell you later. Anyway, yeah, I'm back. And I've gone crazy, apparently. Just kidding. My mother-in-law brought me this back from Penzance in England. She, sorry, allow me to introduce myself if you're new here. My name is Melissa. This is the Stitches Be Slippin podcast / YouTube channel. I mostly talk about knitting, sometimes crochet, lots of other crafty things because I have ADHD and I get distracted very easily, which you will also notice just as I speak during this podcast, because I will have one thought which leads to another thought, and then I forget about the thing that I was thinking about in the first place. Oh, I hope my voice doesn't do this the whole time. Anyway, I already forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about my flower crown. If you're new here, we recently came back from a month in Spain, and my mother-in-law came with us for the first week. I'm gonna save all my general life stuff for the end, but the story of this kind of involves life stuff from the end. So for the first week, my mother-in-law was with us in Barcelona, which was lovely. Don't worry, my mother-in-law is lovely. We very sadly lost my father-in-law 3 years ago to colon cancer. And this is so my husband gets a 6-week sabbatical for every 5 years that he's at his job. So every 5 years, he gets an extra 6 weeks of holidays, and he has to take them all at once, basically. And so this is our third sabbatical together. He went on one before, like we had just met. We'd been together for like 6 months, and he went on one. And then we have gone to Spain for all 3 of our sabbaticals because we love it there. And our very first sabbatical that we went on, my oldest son was 2, and my youngest son was like a baby. He was like 6 months old or something. And so my mother-in-law and my father-in-law came with us, and we went to Spain. We went to one place and stayed there for the whole month because babies and potty training and whatnot. And then my in-laws would go like on day trips from where we were, and they went to Granada, and like they went to all these places. But we were on the very southern tip of Spain, like just a ferry ride away from Morocco. And they really wanted to go to Barcelona, but it was a really long way, like the opposite end of the country. So they didn't make it there. And they said, next time we go to Spain, we'll go to Barcelona. And unfortunately, we lost my father-in-law before they could go back. So when we told my mother-in-law that we were going to Spain, we asked if she wanted to come with us to Barcelona. And so she jumped at the chance. So she was with us for the first week in Barcelona. And after that, she took the train, I think the tunnel train, to London. No, she went to Paris first for a few days. Then she went to London, and then she went to the Cornwall area, which I think is where Penzance is. And I guess when she got to Penzance, there was some sort of festival. I'm assuming some sort of like Renaissance type festival. And she said all the ladies were wearing these flower crowns and she thought they looked so pretty. She bought them for herself and me and my sisters-in-law. And anyway, I don't know. I think it's slightly crazy, but also kind of cute. And it goes with my cute FO that I'm going to show you. Anyway, yeah, I'm back. And it's also kind of disguising my hair a little bit. My hair has become just like a force of its own. It's a bit of a natural disaster. The whole time we were in Spain, I didn't take a blow dryer with me because I was like, who wants to add that kind of heat to your life when you're already in that kind of heat? So it just kind of like, and I went, like we were in the ocean or the pool or something every day. So I wasn't like regularly showering and washing my hair. So it kind of got a little out of control. So you never know what it's going to be like from one day to the next. I keep joking to myself, like I'm going to start naming it, like today it's Hurricane, I don't know, what's a stupid man's name? Donald. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just start naming my natural disaster hair after men's names because that's what they do with hurricanes, and that's not misogynistic at all. It's not offensive at all to just only name hurricanes after women. No big deal. I'm sure they won't mind if I name my natural disasters after men. Anyway. I don't know what I'm talking about. Did I say my name was Melissa? I think I did. Stitches Be Slippin' podcast. You can find me at Stitches Be Slippin' on Instagram. And I have a lot of knitting to show you. Did I talk about my location here? Yeah, because I can't be in my knitting room. But I didn't say where it was. I don't think this is part of our living room. It looks a little blah right now because like we're trying to keep the fireball away. That up there in that little alcove type thing is a picture of my father-in-law and my youngest as a baby when we were on our first sabbatical in Spain. It's really cute. Our TV is up here, our fireplace is right here, and then we have these built-in bookcases on each side. This chair that I'm sitting in is usually back there with that other one, and that's where my youngest likes to sit and read. This little area down here is full of kids' books and their magazines that they get every month and that kind of stuff. And he just loves to sit there and read his books and his magazines and stuff. So, I'm just gonna drink a little bit more than normal to try and keep my voice from going crazy. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a lot. I'm gonna show you a lot of knitting. Sorry about that gross noise. Apparently my sink, my kitchen's over there. I don't know why it's making that noise. We have a garburator. We've never had a garburator before. Do you call it garburator? I think garburator, I don't know if that's a brand name or if that's just like the general name. We always call them carburetors. This one says Enzinger on it. Anyway, we've never had a carburetor before, and it is very liberating. We don't have to collect stinky compost anymore. We can just into the sink. Anyway, I think that was the carburetor making noise. I don't know. So, I digress. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 FOs to show you. As I said, we were away for a month. I had a lot of knitting time. There was a lot of just sitting around and relaxing by the pool, at the beach, some train rides, 2 10-hour airplane rides. So I got a lot done. So don't be like, oh my God, how did you knit all that? I had a lot of knitting time, okay? This is not my normal volume of output. Okay, and then I only have 1 whip to show you. I still have my blanket club going, but I haven't worked on it since before we left. Obviously, I couldn't take it with me. I couldn't fit that in our suitcase, unfortunately. but I have one whip. I have some cast-ons planned, so I'll show you those. I have some acquisitions, and then I will tell you the winner of the giveaway from my last episode, and then I will tell you all about my life and stuff. Okay, so my first, speaking of FOs, remember this little number from last time, my Juno top that I worked on for what felt like an eternity because it's fingering weight and it's entirely textured all over, so it felt like it took forever. I made this to wear in Spain because it's a very like Spanish color, and I had lots of high-waisted shorts and skirts and stuff to wear with it. And I showed it on my podcast right before we left, and I put it back in the project bag that I had it in, and then didn't put it in my suitcase. Like I had these other knits that I was planning on taking with me, and this was one of them, and I just forgot because I put it back in its project bag. So I got to Spain and I was like, fuck. I was really mad at myself that I forgot to bring that with me because I still haven't taken FO pictures of it, and I really wanted to do that in Spain, but I guess I just have to do it here. Okay, so my first FO, I made this. I made probably 3/4 of this on the plane on the way to Barcelona. This pattern is out now. This pattern is by my yarn bestie, Nicole, who is the Prof Pearl on Instagram, Professor Pearl, I think, on YouTube. And she just released this cute. It is called the Little Garter Scarf. And it is the cutest little pattern. It is a great alternative to the Sophie scarf. If you're looking for an alternative to the Sophie scarf, you start down here and you increase, and then you just knit. So you don't have to like increase the whole time and then decrease the whole time. And then you do your decreases and you're done. And it's got this really cute little slip stitch all the way up the middle, which was really cute. And it has a slip stitch on each side, so it's not like an unfinished edge. And it is, I don't know if I can, I'm so hot already. Okay, sorry lady, you gotta go. Oh no, my crazy hair is coming out. Ha! Anyway, you get the idea. That's not even the cute side. Duh. So I usually, when I make these little scarves, I wear them. I don't usually have this much trouble putting it on. I kind of and I like tie it up like that. And you can wear it with a jacket, or you can wear it with like a button down or whatever. That actually looks kind of cute. It's hot as fuck though, so I can't wear it right now. Sorry. It is a DK weight pattern, and I used a local dyer here. She's in sort of central / northern Alberta, and it's called Over the Moon yarn. And this yarn was gifted to me by Justine. Hi, Justine. She's in my knit night, and I think she made a whole blanket with this. And it's just it's a beautiful, like, I don't know, I can't remember if I didn't get a tag with it, so I don't remember if I think it's either 100% merino or like an 80-20 or 75-25 merino, but it's really nice and soft and squishy, DK weight. But I love the little neon yellow flecks in the like natural or neutral. It's not natural, it is dyed a little bit like a really light sandy. Anyway, I love this yarn. I can't remember the name of the colorway. Justine told me, and I can't remember. If I can find it again, I'll put it down below. But I will put the link to Over the Moon yarn down below, and to Nicole's pattern. You should definitely go buy it. I made it in less than 24 hours. I mean, I was stuck in a cylinder hurtling at 30,000 feet in the air for 10 hours. So I did get a lot done quickly, but it is a really, really fun, quick, easy knit. And it is definitely going to be my go-to knit whenever if I need like to do a really quick gift knit, or if I need just some knitting to keep in my purse, like for on-the-go knitting when you find yourself with time waiting for something. Or like sometimes you finish like a big project and you just need a little palette cleanser. This is really fun and quick and like gives you that dopamine rush that we're always searching for, or at least I am always searching for, because, you know, ADHD. Okay, so that was the little garter scarf. So yeah, now anytime, and it didn't take very much yarn. I think it was maybe, I weighed it, I think I can't remember exactly. I think it was like 60 or 70 grams of DK weight yarn. Yeah, so now anytime I find like a beautiful single skein, it's like great for single skeins of DK weight yarn, or I mean you could hold fingering weight double or whatever. Okay, so the next one, so yeah, I tested that for Nicole, Prof Pearl, and that pattern is out now, so go get it and whip up a scarf. I know it's like really, really hot right now, but it's small and transportable and isn't like a giant sweater in your lap when it's hot out. So there you go. This is 2 whips of this, or 2 FOs of the same pattern. So Nicole also wrote her first garment pattern, and it is a little tank top for kids, and it is so cute. She made it for her daughter Matilda, and then she was very nervous about grading it, and she did a great job. She did a really great job. It's a very easy to follow pattern. It's really easy to knit. It's really quick. Like I said, it's just for kids, so I think it goes from size baby to, I think the biggest one is size either 8 to 10 or 10 to 12. And all of the sizes except for maybe the last size or the last 2 sizes uses less than 1 full skein of fingering weight yarn. Yeah, so I had this yarn that I bought in San Diego at Apricot Yarn, and this is Bah yarn, B-A-A-H yarn, in their La Jolla base, which is, I think it's 100% superwash merino. I can't remember, I don't have the tag with me. This is their colorway Crystal Ball, and when I saw it on the wall at Apricot Yarn, it immediately made me think of Nicole, and I had to buy it because it just made me think of Nicole, and I was like, I have to buy this because it's so like Nicole. I wasn't planning on giving it to Nicole, but it just made me think of her. And then she came out with this tank top pattern, and I thought, well, that's perfect. I can test knit her tank top pattern with that yarn that made me think of her. So that's what I did. We have some friends that have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And so I was hoping to have enough yarn to make one for the 3-year-old, and then I was hoping to have enough yarn left over to make one for the 1-year-old. And when I weighed it beforehand and I weighed it after, and I didn't think I was going to have enough yarn. So I had to make the second one in a different yarn. But let me show you the first one. Oh my God, it's so cute. Look at how cute this is. So this is called the Golden Hour Tank Top by Nicole, Prof Pearl. Nicole Enzinger, I think, is her Ravelry name. Well, that's her actual name. But that's why she's not Prof Pearl. Her Ravelry store is not Prof Pearl. It's under her name. But look at how cute this is. Look at all those fun little neon speckles. So you cast on at the bottom and knit in the round, and then you separate and do some decreases on both sides, and some ribbing at the top, and these straps are double knitting, and then do the back, and then you're done. It's really quick. Super, and like I said, very easy to follow. So this is the one I made for the 3-year-old. And then I got home and was going through my stash. I actually texted our friend that has the 2 little girls, and I said, I didn't send her a picture of the actual tank top, but I said, you know, I made something for Spencer for like hot girl summer, because she's 3, and that's funny. And I sent her a picture of this, and I said, this is what I used for Spencer's, and their younger daughter's name is Reese, and I sent her a picture of a whole bunch of different yarn that I had enough of, and she chose this, which made me really, really happy, because I really love this one. So I don't have the tag with me for this one either, but this is the Woolen Frog. She's a local maker in Medicine Hat, and the name of the colorway is, I think it's 80s Disco Party or something like that. 80s Nia, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll put a link to her Etsy shop down below. I made what was it called? Like a ripple crop top or a ripple bralette or something with this yarn, and wore it in Colombia, actually. Well, I wore it briefly because it was too effing hot. Anyway, this is the little one for Reese. Isn't it so cute? Oh man, I just love them. I could keep making them over and over and over. I don't really know that many people with little girls, so if I did, I would just keep making them. They're so cute. Oh, I want one for myself. I think I might just like grade it so that I know how many stitches I need for my size. Or ask Nicole to do that. She's a math professor. She would know. She would be able to do that, no problem. I could probably figure it out, but there is one thing that I do want to do though that I haven't done yet. When I was I wanted them to have matching tank tops, which I couldn't do because I didn't have enough yarn. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this yarn to embroider a little heart on there, or like duplicate stitch or whatever, embroider a little heart on there, and then use this one to embroider a little heart on there, so that it's kind of clear that they're sisters but not like related. I don't know what the words are. That they're same but different. Same? Okay, so we're 3 in, and my next, so that golden hour tank top I think is coming out. Sorry, oh, that's so gross. Let me have another drink. Ugh, traveling is fun, guys. The golden hour tank top is coming out very soon. I think it's coming out in the next week or so. She's got all our feedback forms, and I think it's coming out soon. I don't know. So if you don't follow Prof Pearl on Instagram, go follow her, and then you can see when it comes out. My next, so that one I'm finished. After Barcelona, we went to Valencia, and I finished that one in Valencia. And then my next FO is the Moon Crush tank, which I was knitting together. Nicole and I know I talk about Nicole all the time. I've never actually met Nicole in person, but I'm going to. We're finally going to meet in person in August at the Flock Fiber Festival. Yay! So we're home here for 2 weeks, and then we're heading out to our cabin, which is on Vancouver Island. And just so happens that the Flock Festival is the weekend that we're leaving the island to come home. So on the Friday when we're leaving, we're gonna we have to take a water taxi or a shuttle or whatever from our little island over to the ferry terminal in Victoria, which is kind of close to our cabin, our little island. And so from there, my boys are gonna start driving home because we're driving out there. So they're gonna start their drive home. And they'll drive like halfway, stay overnight, and then drive home because it's a really long way. It's like a, depending on traffic, 10 to 12 hour drive. But I am going to take a taxi into Victoria, into downtown Victoria, because even though we're going to be at a ferry terminal, I'm going to take a ferry to Seattle, but the ferry leaves from the harbor in downtown Victoria. So I'm going to take a taxi into downtown Victoria and take a ferry to Seattle and meet up with Nicole and go to the Flock Fiber Festival. It's also the day that we're going to the Flock Fiber Festival, which is the Saturday, is my birthday. So I was like, it's all coming together. It was meant to be. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. So as part of the Flock Fiber Festival, the people who run it are having a knit along called the Flock Along, I think, summer Flock Along. So you can knit tees, tank tops, whatever, like leading up to the festival, and then wear them to the festival, or just make them for part of the knit along or whatever. And so I asked Nicole if she wanted to make the Moon Crush tank because it was on my list of things that I wanted to make. And she was like, yep, I already have the yarn picked out and I've had the pattern picked out for quite a while and just have never started it. So yeah, so we started making it. We're making it together. Nicole has finished her front half, I think, which is awesome. This is in no way reflective of, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like I have finished mine, but that is because I had unlimited knitting time basically for my last 2 weeks in Spain. I just sat there while my kids were in the pool or at the beach in the water and just knitted pretty much full time. So here is my finished Moon Crush tank. Oh, she's so cute. I love it so much. So in the front, it's pinky purple up here, bee's knees down here, mustard down here. And on the back, it's bee's knees up here, mustard here, and then the pinky purple down here. So the pinky purple kind of meets up a little bit on the sides, and the mustard kind of meets up a little bit on the sides. It looks really cute on. I haven't taken FO pictures. I was planning, I think I'm gonna try and take some pictures of it when we're in Seattle. Yeah, so the yarn I used is, when I talk about bee's knees, this is bee's knees. It is a Polka Dot Creek colorway that I didn't invent. Shelly invented it. Shelly is the owner of Polka Dot Creek. I used to work at Polka Dot Creek as a yarn dyer. I can now say that without crying. I had to stop working there when my hands got really bad before I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I loved it. I absolutely loved working there. Anyway, I was there the day that Shelly came up with bee's knees. She was trying to come up with a new, at the time she was doing a new speckled colorway every month. It was like color of the month. And she was looking for ideas, and I was like, I can't remember what my idea was, but part of this colorway was my idea. The rest of it was all Shelly. She's pretty, I don't know what that noise is. Oh, they're sweeping the streets today, finally, I think. They were supposed to do it a while ago, but Calgary was on water restrictions for quite a while because one of our water mains for the entire city broke. It was catastrophic. So everyone was on water restrictions. It was like a pipe that was big enough to drive a truck through. Like, think heist movie, and like the armored trucks driving through the pipes to escape or whatever was one of those pipes. So anyway, we were like, we don't like this, so we left and went to Spain. But anyway, they couldn't sweep the streets because they couldn't use the water. So now they're finally, it's July 17th, they're finally sweeping the streets. Anyway, back to yarn, which is actually interesting. This is the bee's knees colorway from Polka Dot Creek yarn. And this is Antique Mauve, also from Polka Dot Creek yarn. And this is, it's called Ochre, and it's from Hue Loco. I bought this in San Diego as well at Apricot Yarn. So not usually, like the sock set that we came up with at Polka Dot Creek, where this was the colorway, it actually came with, one of the minis was antique mauve, and one of the minis was called Spicy Mustard, and it was very, very similar to this color. So I put these 3 colors together for my Moon Crush because I knew they would go well together. And yeah, so I didn't say who the pattern is by. The Moon Crush Tank. I think there's a Moon Crush T too. I can't remember. It's by Jacqueline Cieslak. So you knit the front panel from the bottom up with using intarsia. This was my very first time doing intarsia, which I was very scared of, but it is actually really, really easy. Well, it's really, really easy when there's only 2 colors. So you just knit up to here, drop this color, pick up this color, make sure you twist them so there's no hole, and then you just keep going. Super easy. It's the same when you have more than 2 colors, but then yarn management kind of becomes an issue. So it's still the same. Knit up to here, drop this, twist it over with this, knit to here, drop it, twist it over. So don't be afraid of intarsia. It's not hard. It's just a little, if you have lots of colors, the yarn management might be a problem. The actual knitting of intarsia, not hard. So I knit the front panel, and then I knit the back panel, and then I seamed it. I fucking hate seaming stuff, man. I have actively avoided patterns with seaming because I hate it so much. I think I hate it even more than knitting sleeves, to be honest, because at least when you're knitting sleeves, you're still knitting. So anyway, mattress stitch. One morning in our last 2 weeks when we were in our little beach town, I set out my 2 panels. Everyone was still sleeping. I don't know why I was up early, but everyone was still sleeping. And it took me 1 hour to do this one seam, which like seems like a lot, but this is fingering weight yarn, so that's a lot of rows. And when you're doing mattress stitch, you have to like do one here and do one here. And then to go back through the one you went through over here and then back through the one, and like it's like you basically do every row twice kind of thing. And I don't know, I'm not very good at mattress stitch, obviously, because like the whole magic, like you pull it tight at the end, it doesn't do that for me. It doesn't go anywhere. So I just had to make sure I didn't keep it super loose, but I made sure not to pull it too tight, and it worked out pretty good. And then you do I-cord edging for the armholes, which was not hard. Just pick up the stitches all the way around and do I-cord. And then I did modify, this is my only modification. The neck is supposed to be a folded, like it's supposed to be like a folded, like the bottom. This is a folded hem here. So the neck is supposed to be like that too. But I didn't like some of the project pictures in Ravelry, it didn't seem to really sit very well. And the reason I made this, actually, my inspiration was my friend Mike, who is, I can't remember his Instagram name off the top of my head. I'll put it down here. I think it's Mike Makes something. He is a prolific knitter, and he knits all kinds of stuff for his wife and like all this kind of stuff. But he made one of these, and he just picked up and did an I-cord edge around the neck instead of the folded neck, and I really like that, so that's what I did. So yeah, that's my Moon Crush tank. I have very fond memories of sitting on the balcony in our little villa that we were staying at and looking out at the Mediterranean and knitting on that project, and knowing that I was like knitting it with Nicole and we were going to Seattle. It has like lots of like joyful memories attached to it. I really love it when I have a project that, you know, when I look at it, I think of all those things that make me happy that are attached to it, or like what I was doing or where I was when I was making it. That's kind of fun. Okay, so by that time, I had gone through almost all of the yarn that I brought with me. I luckily was smart enough to pack a backup sweater quantity of yarn in case I needed it. Actually, I made this first before I made that, so I'll show this first. I didn't say what I'm wearing. I usually do that first. Let me see if there's anything I need. Yeah. So this is the Confidence Crop by Chantel Miyagashima, who is Knititude. I'm sure you've all heard of Knititude before on Instagram. She's usually got bright purple or bright pink hair, and she designs a lot of beginner-friendly patterns, and this is a very beginner-friendly pattern, I would say. Yeah, pretty much. It took me like 24 hours to knit. Again, I had a lot of knitting time, but it was really very easy, and it whipped up in no time. It's like a DK weight pattern, and I used, where did I put that? Shoot. I don't remember where did I put it in here? I have the tag for this yarn. I bought this yarn in Barcelona, which I'll talk about later. I don't have the tag here. Dang it. I'll put up a little title here because I have the tag here somewhere. I didn't keep the leftover yarn because we were having some baggage issues. Not baggage issues, but like weight issues with our bags. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, I bought this yarn in Barcelona at a lovely, lovely little store called All You Knit Is Love. I will talk about that later in my acquisitions, but this is a 100% bamboo yarn that was, I wish I could remember. It was, I think it's milled just outside of Barcelona, and can't remember the name of it. I'll write it down here. Anyway, I saw it, and it was a DK weight bamboo yarn, and I knew I wanted to make it with like a non-merino, because a DK weight merino yarn for summer seems like it would be really hot. So, and the bamboo drapes really nicely. Chantel designed the pattern with, I think it was either Kobu, she does all her designs with Lion brand. And so I think it was either Kobu, which is cotton bamboo, or just Trubu, which is 100% bamboo, but it's like really, really drapey. I will say this yarn was an absolute fucking nightmare to knit with, because it was like, I don't know how many strands were like spun together. I'd say probably 6 or 7, maybe 8. But it wasn't really spun. So it like, there were little strands sticking out of my stitches all over the place. It was terrible, but you can't really tell too much. So the strap is ribbing, which is, I think, makes it kind of look really cute. And there's 2 sizes. One is an ultra crop, which I think would come to about here. And this is like the regular crop. And these are like really high-waisted shorts. They come up, ooh, there's my bra. Comes up past my belly button. So it's a really good pattern for wearing with high-waisted stuff. If you don't think that you can wear a crop top, you absolutely can. Get yourself some high-waisted jeans, high-waisted shorts, high-waisted skirts, and then put a crop top over top. It looks amazing. Yeah, I made this really, really quickly. I can't remember. Anyway, so then I was running out of yarn that I had brought, but I had an emergency backup sweater quantity that I took with me. So I got that out. I had a pattern in mind. So I made the garden cardigan by, oh crap, Anka Strick, I think. And it was very fun to knit, actually. So I'll show you. So it's got like a little lace detail throughout. Really very easy. It's like a 4-row repeat, which I say is very easy, but I messed it up all the time. But you can't tell, it's fine. So here's the back. And the really fun detail about this, I don't know how I can show you, is that the collar is over top of itself, sort of. So that makes it sit really nicely on your neck, and it makes the cardigan sit like this really nicely. I'm gonna do you guys a solid and put this on. Like, I'm already overheated, so this isn't gonna last long, so don't blink. This is fingering and mohair held together, you guys. It is so hot. But, so when you put it on, it stays like this. I know a lot of cardigans, like a lot of especially raglan cardigans, just don't sit and they kind of like fall off your shoulders. But the detail in the back, how it kind of is folded over itself, really makes it sit really nicely. I'll back up a little bit here and show you. So it's really pretty details. You knit the band at the same time. There's no buttonholes. I'm never going to do this up. And then there was supposed to be that lace detail on the sleeves too, but I only had 2 skeins of the fingering and 2 skeins of the mohair. So I was concerned about how much yarn I was gonna have. So I started with the yoke, and I just knit the yoke until, so this is part of the yoke. So you knit the back, and then you pick up from your cast on and knit one side, and then you pick up and knit the other side. And you're supposed to just do the whole body first and then put the sleeves on. But I knit until I ran out of my first skein of fingering and first skein of mohair. And then I picked up and knit the sleeves so that I would know, so that I could just knit the rest of the body until I ran out of yarn. And I also, the gauge was a little bit tight, and I didn't think if I kept this gauge and with the lace and whatever, I didn't think I was gonna have enough yarn to like have a body as long as I wanted it to. So when I picked up for the sleeves, I knit the sleeves on a larger needle and just knit them stockinette and also I used, for regular in the round or just knitting flat or whatever, I almost always use my 4-inch tips, my interchangeable needles. But I used my 5-inch tips for this because I know that on my 5-inch tips, my gauge gets bigger. I don't know why, just the way I hold my needles, I just knit bigger somehow. So I used bigger needles for the sleeves and longer tips. So the gauge is completely different on the sleeves, but it's really nice and drapey. And that allowed me, like, having that larger gauge. I used less yarn for the sleeves, and then that allowed me to get a long enough body that I was comfortable with. And then it blocked out even a little bit longer with the lace and stuff, so that was really nice. I have spent this whole time, I didn't say what the yarn is. This yarn is Polka Dot Creek, and it is fingering weight and mohair held together. And both fingering weight and mohair are the color eucalyptus. Oh, I found the tag for my confidence crop. Okay, I'll tell you about that in a sec. This is how much yarn I have left. So I don't recommend doing it this way. It was very stressful. But yeah, this is how much yarn I have left. The color is eucalyptus. It is such a beautiful color. It is like green, gray. It's like a gray green. It's so beautiful. And so yeah, it made a beautiful cardigan. And when did I finish this? I think I finished it like the day after we got home maybe, or a couple days after we got home. So I took a great amount of yarn. I probably would have run out of things to knit if I hadn't bought this and knit this. Or did I have, no, I didn't have other, no, I took some other yarn to make that. I think I talked about it on my last podcast, to make the Sailor Swift tank top, which is like a striped tank top. And then after I knit this, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna use that yarn for this. I'll just hold it double. And then I did not have enough yarn for that. So then I had to rip it out, but I was holding it double and I ripped it out, and then I had to separate it was a whole thing. My husband helped me, which was really nice. Yeah, okay, so that's enough of that. I found the tag for this. So it's called Casa Sol Handmade, and it is made in Spain, 100% bamboo. I mean, I pretty much already told you that, but if you're interested in what the name of it is, it's called Casa Sol. And that is that. Okay, that's all my FOs. That's a lot of FOs. So I only have one whip to show you. I have cast on another confidence crop. I've had this yarn in my stash for quite a while, actually. Someone was de-stashing it, I can't remember who. And I bought it thinking that sounded like an interesting yarn. So this is the yarn I'm using. It's called, the brand is Camarose, and it's called Love Tanned. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it, but I'm not even sure what language it is I'm not sure what language it is, but it's 100% organic linen, which sounds crunchy and gross, but it's in a chainette construction, so it's not hard to knit with, just because of the way that the yarn is constructed. The colorway is, I think the colorway is this 412 Sart Rosa, because it's like a blushy, it's like a beige but with a hint of blushy pink. So this is how much I've got so far. It does feel crunchy, but I'm really curious to see what it feels like after I block it, because a lot of people knit with linen or linen blends or whatever, and they like magically feel better after blocking, I think. And this is such a quick, easy knit that I'll be done it in no time, and if it feels weird after I block it, then no big deal. So yeah, this is a DK, I think it's roughly a DK weight. I looked it up on Ravelry because I couldn't read this, and it's like kind of like between, it says 21 to 22 stitches, so it's kind of like roughly between like a sport weight and a DK. So we'll see how it goes. I've got this much done, and my stitch marker I'm using right there, that's from Lolly, who's Ocean Loops. She's a local maker here in Calgary. She makes beautiful stitch markers and stuff. I was using this for projects while I was in Spain, and thinking of her because she is originally from Spain. And so that was kind of special that I was in Spain. I was only 2 hours away actually from her hometown. So anyway, I was messaging her saying, I'm using your stuff. I'm only 2 hours away from your hometown. This project is living in this super, super cute bag. This is from Creek Gardens Crafts, who is Penny. I will link her Etsy shop below. It's all rainbow cork, and then the inside is all this fabric, which is 100% my vibe. I absolutely love it. I love those colors. So that's living in there. I can't show you my blanket club because I haven't worked on it. And since we've got home, I haven't worked on it because it's been too fucking hot. Honestly, it's been so hot. Okay, so let's move on to acquisitions. One of the days we were in Barcelona, I think I talked about it on the last time. The boys got to choose, they each got to choose one thing that they wanted to do in Barcelona. So the little one chose a water park, so we went to the water park one day. And then the older one chose, there's like a virtual reality place where you can go play VR. So I opted out of that and went for a little walk through Barcelona and found myself this super cute little yarn store. Yeah, I just realized I didn't say I'm able to podcast today. We're all home, all together. It's summer. Dave still has like almost a month left on his sabbatical. So Dave and the boys are at the zoo this morning, which I politely declined. They went with Dave's brother and his 2 girls. So the boys are excited to go play with their cousins. And I had zero desire to go to the zoo. I went to the zoo so many times when the boys were little that I would be very happy to never, ever go there again. So thankfully, Dave took them, and that's why I'm able to podcast today. So anyway, I went to the yarn store in Barcelona, and it was called All You Knit Is Love. I spent so much money there that she gave me a free tote bag. The other side of the bag is a chart pattern. This is the Barcelona, it's called the Panot. That just means the like flagstones. So all of the flags, like all of the sidewalks are made out of squares with this pattern on it. So everywhere you go, you see that pattern in Barcelona. That's like, I don't know, it's like the pattern associated with Barcelona. I actually bought a little wallet, a little purse wallet thing that has that pattern imprinted on it. It's really cute. Okay, so the woman that owns the shop, All You Knit Is Love, I went in there and said, hola, ¿cómo estás? And I was a little worried because I speak Spanish fluently, but I don't really know all the knitting terms in Spanish, so I was really hoping that the person spoke English. And I was like, ¿habla inglés? And she was like, yep. She was from Arizona. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. So we had a good chat, and the thing that caught me instantly was that she had DK weight. Oh, that's come untwisted. DK weight Surrey yarn. Like, when you think of Surrey, you think of like the lace weight Surrey. It's like 90% Surrey, 10% silk or something like that. This is the same base, 90% Surrey alpaca, 10% silk, but it's DK weight. There is 225 meters, which I think is 246 yards in a 100-gram skein. Like, I don't know if I can even get one strand out here for you, but no, it's amazing. So, sorry, this is the color I chose, and I am going to make it is the exact same base actually as the Farmer's Daughter Fibers Odang DK. It's the same base. Like, I think they get their bases from the same supplier. Oh, and now my dishwasher is done, and it's gonna beep a couple more times, so sorry about that. So yeah, I'm going to make I think it's called Broom, B-R-U-M-E, by Andrea Mowry. It's a turtleneck sweater, which seems ridiculous that it's summertime and I'm gonna make I don't know when I'm gonna make it, but I'm going to make it. It's on my list of things to make fairly soon. But yeah, she used the Farmer's Daughter Odang DK for that, and this is the exact same base, so yay. I bought this yarn at All You Knit Is Love, and I also bought this, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it was too beautiful to leave there. It's called, I think it's been discontinued, so what she had was what she had, and she couldn't get any more of it, and I mean, really, you had me at fluff. So it's called Filatura di Crosa Golden Line Superior, made in Italy. I don't know. It is 70% cashmere and 25% silk, and it's like a really, really light lace weight. Let me see what these are 25-gram balls, and there's 328 yards. So that would make it 660 yards roughly for a 100-gram. So it was just, I love, love, love this color, and it is so, it's, oh my God, you can't really see. There's nothing behind me to show you the halo. Oh, it's so beautiful. And this color, I was just like, yep, thank you very much. And yeah, so those are the yarn that I got in Spain. I'm pretty sure there's a yarn shop in Valencia, which we were at for a few days, but I didn't make it there. I wasn't planning on making it to any more yarn shops after Barcelona, so. And then, what else did I buy in? Anyway, there was a really cute art store beside one of the restaurants we went to. We went to a entirely gluten-free restaurant. I'm celiac, if you didn't know that. There is an entirely gluten-free restaurant in Barcelona that we went to, and it was so delicious. It was amazing. I could eat everything off the menu, which hasn't happened to me in a really long time. So I was so happy. And we got there, and our reservations were at, I think, 7:30, and that was like the first reservation you get. They didn't open until 7:30, so this is Spain. Like 7:30 is really early to eat dinner. So all of the like North Americans were making reservations for 7:30. Anyway, there was a really cute art store right next door. So we were waiting for it to open, and I went in there, and there were all these, I don't think it's a print. I think they're all original. But anyway, I found this, and it was, there were like piles and piles and piles of them, and they were all kind of like in the same color palette, but of like millions of different things and just all kinds of different pictures and stuff. And this one was right at the front, and it was the first one I looked at, and I thought, well, that's a hand squishing a skein of yarn, right? Like, right? That's what it looks like. Anyway, that's what it looks like to me. And art is subjective, and it doesn't really matter. It's what you think it looks like that matters. So I bought that, and it's gonna go in my wall of things upstairs in my knitting room. I thought that was fantastic. I protected it as much as I could on our way home, so that it didn't get wrecked. What else did I get? Oh, one more thing I bought for myself that I don't have to show you here yet, but I'll put some pictures up here as I'm talking about it. At our knit night before we left, obviously, one of the lovely ladies there had recently purchased herself an interchangeable needle organizer it's sort of like a little project bag. The maker is called 5 to 6 knits, 5 to 6 something. I'll put the name of the business here, and I'll put a link down below to her store. She makes beautiful project bags, but she also makes these needle organizers. So it looks sort of like a project bag, but on the inside it's got all these little pockets, and there's 2 rows of pockets, so 1 row for 4-inch tips, 1 row for 5-inch tips, and I have both of those. And my method of organizing right now, I don't have them down here. I think I've shown them previously on episodes, are like these big thick binders. And I have my 4-inch tips in one binder and my 5-inch tips in the other binder, and then some all other miscellaneous stuff. And this, I was just immediately drawn to this because A, it's pretty, and B, I can keep all my needles all together in one thing and not have to carry 2 things around. And then there's a little cable organizer that I also got. So hopefully I've shown you pictures of the needle organizer that I bought. And here's the cable organizer that I bought. It's not the same fabric, but I can do whatever I want. And the maker is in Washington. And I messaged her and I said, I don't know if you're anywhere near Seattle. Are you planning on going to Flock Fiber Festival? Because I really want to order one of your needle organizers, and I was wondering if I order it from you, if you can bring it to Flock Fiber Festival and I'll pick it up from you there, instead of paying like whatever ridiculous shipping plus customs and duty and blah, blah, blah. It's like buying stuff from the States is really, really, really terrible for Canadians. And she messaged back and said, yes, she was planning on going to on Saturday on my birthday. And so I put my order in, and I'm very excited to pick it up from her on my birthday at the Flock Fiber Festival. Yes, so I do have some knitting plans. I only showed you one whip. I have lots of cast on plans. I showed you my DK weight Surrey that I'm going to cast on the broom sweater. And what else did I have planned? I think, because I'm off, we're here for 2 weeks. The boys are in summer camp all like from 9 to 4 all day next week. So I'm gonna have lots of knitting time next week. And then we're going out to the island, and I'll have lots of knitting time at the island for 2 weeks. So I've been frantically looking for yarn to cast on new projects with. So I bought this Fiber Goddess yarn at Fiber Shindig, I think, not that long ago. And this is her Artemis base, which is 65% silk and 35% linen and 100% gorgeous. It's so, oh, I love it. It's a fingering weight yarn. It's a very light fingering weight yarn. It's 490 yards to 100 grams. And I have 2 of those. And my plan is to make the Mount Pleasant top by Pip and Pin. I'll put a picture up here. I think that would look really cute. This is like a summer top with some plant-based fibers. And I also was looking at the Darjeeling, I don't know if it's called the Darjeeling tank or top or whatever. It's kind of along the lines of those outline tanks that I've been making and modifying with button bands. I'll put a picture up here of what it looks like. It calls for sport weight yarn, and I've had this sport weight yarn in my stash for about a little over a year. I bought this at, I'll have to, one second. Okay, sorry about that. My husband was calling from the zoo to let me know that they're having a great time, and they're probably gonna be there longer than he thought. Oh darn. Anyway, I was talking about the Darjeeling top, which calls for sport weight yarn, and I bought this yarn at Espace Tricot when I was in Montreal last year for Knit City Montreal, and it is a sport weight cashmere yarn. It is eco cashmere, which means it's 100% cashmere, but 50% of it is recycled cashmere and 50% is virgin cashmere. Which means it's never had sex before? I don't know. Anyway, it's called Nordic yarn, eco cashmere, and this is the color beige, of course. So I have 2 of these, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it, but I liked it. And so I think I might make that Darjeeling top with that. And one more thing that I was looking at yesterday that I'm thinking about making is it's called the Vacation Vest by Park Williams. I'll put a picture up here. Yeah, I was just, when I was in, I can't remember where we were. We were somewhere in Spain, and I found a mango store, and we don't have those in Canada. I don't even know if we have them in North America anywhere. Maybe we do, and I've just never seen one. But every time I go in a mango store, everything fits me. Like both times all 3 times I've been to Spain and gone into a mango store, everything fits me. Like it's awesome, but it's also a nightmare because I can't buy all this stuff and we have no room in our bags. But like I put on a pair of jeans there, and it was like one of those days. I don't know if this has ever happened to you before, but it's like one of those unicorn shopping days where you go into a store and like you're like, ooh, that's cute, but there's only one of them. And that one is your size and it fits you perfectly. Like it was one of those unicorn days. These pants, there was only one pair of pants. They were exactly my size. They fit me perfectly. I accidentally bought a jacket in Spain. It's like not a puffy jacket, but it's like I'm not describing it very well. Anyway, I was not planning on buying a jacket in Spain. It's like a fall jacket, I would say, probably. It's like sort of bomber style. Anyway, I was like, oh, that is so cute. And it was on sale. There was only one. It was my size. It was one of those days. So I had some fun shopping in Spain, for sure. We had to leave a few things behind when we came home. We had 2 giant bags. Anyway, sorry, I was getting a little distracted. Vacation Vest by Park Knit. When I was at Mango, I bought a like machine knit, obviously. It's like a little vest, but I thought it would be really cute, like over a t-shirt or something. And then I was like, I could totally knit one of these for sure. So then I started looking on Ravelry for vest. Like it's an actual vest, like not like a slip over. It's like a vest with buttons, and it was really cute. So I was looking for vests on Ravelry, and Park Williams, who is Park and Knit on Instagram, she has a really cute vest pattern called Vacation Vest. So I'm looking at that. It calls for worsted weight cotton, so I'm not really sure what yarn I would use for it. So that one's still a maybe, but those are my soon knitting plans to be cast on fairly soon. And those were all the things, those are all the knitting things, except I do have the winner of my giveaway from last episode. All the yarn is upstairs, but I'm giving away, I think it was 8 skeins of Aran weight yarn. What was it called again? My stupid brain. Like I know the name. Haynes Creek Heathers. That's what it is. I got there. And thank you for all the comments. There was lots and lots of comments for me to choose from. I didn't choose. I did a random number generator and then went to that comment, and I will put the winner's name below. This is the YouTube name of the comment that won. And it made me very happy because it was someone who had just found me, and she said, as soon as you said that you swear a lot, I subscribed. So I was like, yay! So it was a new subscriber, and so hopefully she will have received a notification that I have a new episode, and she will see her name here, and then she will send me an email. I will not contact you in the comments or anywhere else. You need to contact me, send me an email at this email address, and then I will send you all that yarn. And I can't wait to see what you make with it. So congratulations. Okay, that's all my knitting stuff. I am going to talk about life, and basically that is just our trip to Spain. So if you don't want to hear about that, that's totally fine. I don't want to feel like I'm bragging about our trip, but it is a trip that we've been planning for 5 years. So it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It seems crazy to go on a month-long trip, but we've been saving up and planning for it for 5 years, and we just had the most amazing trip. It was the 4 of us together, 24 hours a day for an entire month. Nobody got in any fights. Nobody was yelling at anybody. Everybody, we had so much fun. We did lots of fun things. And on the days we weren't doing fun things, like everybody was happy to just sit and hang out. And it was just like the word that comes to mind when I think of the trip in its entirety is happy. Like everyone was so happy the whole time, which sounds ridiculous, but it was really, really great. The only shitty thing, as you've probably noticed with me coughing the whole time and my voice, is that I got sick about 2 or 3 days into the trip. Dave had been on a field trip with my youngest son a few days before we left to the science center here. And so it was my youngest son's grade, and then there were like 20 other schools there. And he started coughing, I think the day before we left, and was coughing like every once in a while on the airplane all the way there. And then I don't know, he was sick for maybe a few days. And then I started getting a scratchy throat a few days into Barcelona, and it just got worse and worse and worse for me. And it eventually turned into a respiratory infection, bronchitis. I did eventually have to go, once we were in our last leg of the vacation, which was our 2 weeks in our little beach town, I did actually have to find a doctor and go to the doctor. He said to me, it sounds like the latest strain of COVID that's going around. And because I'm on immunosuppressant drugs for my rheumatoid arthritis, that makes me more prone to infections. And so the like 3 or 4 days that Dave was sick turned into like a raging respiratory infection for me, because my immune system is suppressed by my drugs for my arthritis. So fun times. Barcelona wasn't too bad. I wasn't too sick. By the time we got to Valencia, it was, my entire head was just like, felt like it was going to explode. Like if I took a step too hard, my back teeth hurt. Like that's how much pressure my head was under. I like at one point, like, and it was hot. So we would go and do something in the morning. We did lots and lots of skateboarding. We took our skateboards with us. So for example, one day in Valencia, we found a skate park. We went skating. It was like a super fun skate park, and it was great. And it was still like 30 degrees, right? So we were so hot, and we were right by the beach. So then we skated over to the beach, and it was so hot, and my head felt like it was going to explode. So just like the combination of the heat and the sinus pressure. We were having lunch at this restaurant by the beach, and I was just sitting there like, and both boys were like, "Mom, are you okay?" And Dave was like, "You're scaring them." I was like, "I feel like my head's gonna explode." So that was pretty bad. Valencia was a bit of a blur for me because I was just so sick when we were in Valencia. I was trying to like keep the happy smiley face, but I was coughing so much, and I was producing like, sorry if this is too much information, this is really disgusting, but I have produced like my body weight in mucus and phlegm over the last month. Like it is disgusting. It's still disgusting. I'm not coughing nearly as much. My voice still sounds weird. Like I almost entirely lost my voice at one point. But the doctor in Moraira gave me antibiotics to get rid of the infection and some steroids, and it helped very slowly. I'm slowly, I think, coming out of it, but I still like every morning wake up with a raging headache because just the laying down and the pressure in my head builds up while I'm sleeping. But I'm not too bad. Anyway, that was a very shitty part of the trip, but the rest of the trip was absolutely amazing. Like I said, we took our skateboards with us. It seemed crazy, and we were like, are we actually gonna do this? We took my ringette bag, which is just like a giant hockey bag. I emptied out all my stuff, and we put all 4 skateboards in there, all 4 helmets, all 4 sets of elbow pads, knee pads, wrist guards, everything. We had 4 sets of gear in this bag, and then we like piled some other stuff in the nooks and crannies. And then we had our other bag. We have like the I think it's called the Black Hole bag by Patagonia. It's just like a big shell basically that's just like a black hole. You put stuff in it and it's just like, there's no pockets there. Well, there is a pocket, but anyway, it's just a big bag for you to stuff a whole bunch of shit in. So all 4, my clothes, Dave's clothes, both boys' clothes, all in that bag. So, and then we all had backpacks. So all, the Patagonia bag weighed almost 50 pounds. The bag of skateboards and stuff weighed almost 50 pounds, but we didn't go over. So that was good. We did have to leave a few things behind in Spain. Like I said, we did a little bit of shopping. The kids got some stuff at a couple of the skate shops we went to. I did some shopping, a little bit of shopping. And yeah, so we had to sacrifice a few things that we took with us to bring some new things home with us. But that's okay. So yeah, our first week was in Barcelona. It was beautiful. Barcelona is a beautiful, beautiful city. There are some locals who don't really love all the tourists in Barcelona. Not during the week that we were there, but I think a few weeks later, there were some locals who were like spraying tourists with water guns and telling them to go home. I think this year in particular is a really, really, really busy tourist year for Europe, just because of the Olympics are in Paris this year, and like, it's a very busy place. And I understand that it's their city and they would just like to have their city to themselves. But it is like one of the biggest tourist cities in the world, and everybody wants to see it. It's beautiful. There are some tourists who are just fucking clueless, and like, I get why they would not want those tourists there. We speak Spanish. We were very respectful of everyone, and we spoke Spanish with everyone, and like, we're Canadian, so we want to be really polite and make sure that everybody's happy. So we didn't have any problems with any of the locals in Barcelona. All the taxi drivers were really friendly, and we chatted with all of them in Spanish, and so that was really good. So in Barcelona, we skated at 2 different skate parks. One of them we went to twice. So I guess Barcelona is one of the biggest skating cities in the world. It's kind of known as the skateboarding mecca of the world, Barcelona. We didn't know this ahead of time. We were just like, hey, seems like there's lots of skate parks in Barcelona. We should take our skateboards and see if we can find some cool spots. So we were like showing up at these amazing skate parks. Like, we were going early. We would get up early so that we could get there and skate before it was too hot. I mean, it was still hot, but it was not too well, it was hot by the time we were leaving. We were all just like drenched by the time we were leaving. But there were some pretty amazing skateboarders. But what people don't really understand about the skateboarding community is that everyone's always really nice to each other. Like, we show up looking like total noobs, right? Because we've got all the gear on. Dave and I wear our gear because we're old and we don't want to break all our bones. And we make our kids wear the gear because we don't want them to break their bones either, because then they can't do anything else. So we show up, like all 4 of us with all this gear on, and they're like, what is this? But our kids are like, we went skateboarding. I calculated 10 times while we were in Spain. We visited 9 different skate parks / skate spots. So in Barcelona, we went to 2 different ones. We skated one twice. There's one like world famous skate spot in Barcelona, and it's outside of a museum. It's not even a skate park. It's like just outside of a art museum. It's called MACBA, Museo de Arte Contemporáneo. It's like a contemporary art museum in Barcelona, but like it has these long like concrete. It's not a skate park. Anyway, skaters from all over the world go to Barcelona to skate there. And there's like signs up because they can't keep the skaters away. So they're not allowed to start skating until 9 a.m. and then they have to stop skating at, I can't remember what it was. There was a sign that, I think it was 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something. But like between those hours, there's always a massive amount of skaters there because it's the perfect spot for them to like do all their cool tricks, I guess is what I'm saying. So we walked over there just to see it and say that we had been there, and there were some amazing skaters there doing some really amazing tricks. And both the boys were just like, the whole time we were there, it was pretty fun. And then one of the days we were at a skate spot or a skate park ourselves, skating in Barcelona. One of the skaters that was there said, "Did you know that today is World Skateboarding Day, like Go Skateboarding Day?" And we were like, "No, we didn't even know that was a thing." And they're like, "There's a competition at this other skate park this afternoon." And we were like, "Oh, cool." So we went to that other skate park that afternoon and watched, and it was just like at least 100 skaters skating around, jumping off of stuff. And again, we didn't skate because we were out of our league, but it was really cool to watch. Anyway, we didn't just skateboard in Barcelona. We went to Park Güell, and then we went to, so we skateboard, and then we went to Park Güell, and then we would skateboard. We would go in the mornings to skateboarding, and then we would do something else in the afternoon. Except for one day, the second day we were there, I think, we had tickets to go to the Sagrada Familia, which is like the big, incredible cathedral that Gaudi designed. They're still building. They've been building for like over 100 years. They're still working on it. And we had timed tickets for 10:30, and we were still jet lagged. We woke up at 10:20, and we're like, "Oh shit!" And Dave was like, "Oh, I don't know if we like should buy tickets for another day or whatever." I'm like, "Nope, we're going," because like you could enter at 10:30, but it didn't have an end time. So I was like, "I'm pretty sure we can get in." So we like jumped up, like got dressed. I looked like it was like a hurricane. What's another terrible name? Ron. No offense to any Rons out there. I'm just thinking Ron DeSantis. This was like Hurricane Ron up there while we were there. But we made it. We took a taxi. We made it. They let us in. So that was great. It's just, if you've never been to the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, it is just, you don't have to be religious. It is just the most beautiful building I've ever been in. It's incredible. Hopefully I've been like putting up a few pictures. What else did we do in Barcelona? We went to a gluten-free restaurant, like I said. We realized quickly after we got to Barcelona that it was Formula One week in Barcelona while we were there. We had no idea. We would not purposefully have gone to Barcelona the week that they were having a Formula One race. Like Formula One is fine. We're not like that's cool, but we're not like avid crazy not that Formula One fans are crazy, but well, some of them are. Anyway, the whole city was full of Formula One stuff. The big Plaza Catalunya, which is like usually full of, I don't know what else, but it was like where they were having their fan festival or whatever. So it was like crawling with people there. The race itself was outside of the city on a circuit. But the day we were going to the gluten-free restaurant, we were walking there because it was within walking distance. And we were walking and walking. We're like, why are all these people everywhere? And like some of the roads were closed. And we're like, what is going on? And we couldn't get across this street we needed to get across to go to this restaurant. And there's just fucking like hundreds of people everywhere. And we're like, what is happening? And all of a sudden we hear this noise, and it was like no noise we have ever heard before. It like went straight into my body, and all the hairs stood up on my head. And apparently we had like stumbled upon, they were having like a road show for the fans. And there was a Formula One car like fucking doing donuts in the middle of the street. We couldn't see it because there was just people everywhere. Like people were climbed up on lampposts trying to see it and stuff. We couldn't see it, but the sound is like unexplainable. It was unbelievable. My older son, who is really, really sensitive to sound, he has ADHD and he has some anxiety and whatever. He's really, really sensitive to sound. So that sound, he was crying, and we needed to get away from it, and like it was awful. But yeah, so we accidentally happened upon the Formula One roadshow where Formula One drivers were blowing donuts in the street. I went on the Formula One Instagram page later that night, and there was a video of like, there was big TVs up that you could see the car that was on the street. And they posted a video of that car that was on the street as we were walking by. So I don't know if I can put that up here, but I'll try. It was crazy. So we had to like walk way far to get around all of that, and went to the gluten-free restaurant, which was amazing. And then what else did we do? I went to the yarn store. So once we were done in Barcelona, we took a high-speed train to Valencia. It's like a 3-hour train ride. I think roughly 3 hours. The train goes between 200 and 300 kilometers an hour, which is crazy, but it's so quiet, and it's not like rocking back and forth or anything. It was very peaceful, actually. So we did that. We took that to Valencia. Our last sabbatical, we were in Valencia, and we loved it so much we wanted to go back. Valencia has there used to be a river running through the city, and once it was gone or dried up or whatever, they were trying to decide what to do with it, and people wanted to build a highway, of course. But a group of people, I don't know if they voted on it or whatever, but they turned it into a park. And so there's this winding park that goes all the way through the city, and it's just full of trees and running paths and playgrounds, and it's incredible. And where we were staying, the apartment we were staying in, right across the park was right across the street from us. And there's like a science museum, like focused on kids, science museum. There's like an opera house. There's an aquarium. There's this place called the Hemispheric, which is like sort of like a dome. And you can go in there and watch like IMAX style movies. So we went to the Science Center, we went into the Hemispheric and watched an IMAX movie. They got to choose which movie they wanted to watch, and it was, what was it? It was like The Secrets of the Universe or something, which sounds really cool and interesting, but it was mostly just like talking about physics and atoms and particles and stuff, and I fell asleep. It was really boring to me. Sorry. Ugh. Yeah, no offense to anyone out there, any scientists out there who are like into particles and atoms and stuff. I was just like, oh man, I thought this was going to be way more entertaining. Anyway, we did that. We visited, there was a skate park right across there in the park, right across the street from our apartment. So we went there and we skated that, I think once, maybe twice. And then we found the other park that I talked about that was close to the beach. There's one really, really cool playground in the park that was not too far from our apartment, and it's called Gulliver Park. And so, you know, I don't really know the story of Gulliver, but the Gulliver Park, like all of the structure is, if you like what is it? Crow's eye view? Bird's eye view? Bird's eye view. If you were like up looking down on it, it's Gulliver laying out on I'll try and put a picture up here if I got a good picture of it. And so like you can slide down his leg and you can climb up and like it's really, really cool. So we went there and the boys had a good time. We went there last time we were there, and it was like last time we were there, there was a heat wave through Europe and it was like 35 degrees, I think. And the boys remember going to that park and sliding down the slides and their legs getting burnt on the bottom because they were wearing shorts and the slides were really hot. So we were like, okay, we're gonna go to Gulliver Park, and they're like, we're wearing pants. Like, okay, no problem. Yes, we went we went there. We just went on lots of walks through the park and stuff, and I was really sick, so I was just putting on a smiling face and just tagging along with Dave and the boys, whatever they wanted to do. And then from Valencia, we rented a car and drove. It's about an hour and a half-ish drive down to a little beach town called Moraira, and it is in the province of Alicante, the Costa Blanca. I think it's called the Costa Blanca, I think. Anyway, it's this really cute little beach town, and there's villas everywhere. Like there's the water, and then there's the land coming back. It's all hilly. Everything's hilly there. Everything. And like there are villas built into the hills everywhere you go, like all along the coastline. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of villas all along the coastline. Anyway, we had rented a really nice one, and we got there and it was just like exactly what we needed. It was really close to this gorgeous, gorgeous beach. So we would go to the beach almost every day. Like I said, the balcony, we would sit on the balcony and just look out over the Mediterranean. We had a pool, so the boys were in the pool like 5 or 6 times a day. Just, they'd be like, can we go in the pool? We're like, sure. There was a couple of skate parks close to us, so we would go to the skate park in the morning, and then we would come home and just jump in the pool because we were so hot. But just the view from the balcony, I would sit there in the morning. I was usually up before the boys were getting some good sleeps there, so I was usually up before them, and I would just sit there and knit and drink my tea and look out at the water. And it was just, whenever I have to, like, if I need to think of my happy place, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I need to calm down, think of a happy place. That's it. That's absolutely it. The view from there is burned into my memory for the rest of time. It was really great. So in the mornings, like, the boys would get up and they would come out, they would just sit and read their books, and I would knit and Dave would read his book, and everyone was just happy to just sit there and relax and be quiet, and it was just, it was so great. What else do we, we played lots of Uno. There was a set of Uno cards there at this villa. There was lots of everything. It was really great, actually. The Airbnbs that we stayed in Barcelona and Valencia, they were very, like, the apartment we stayed in Barcelona was really nice, but like there's like one roll of toilet paper per bathroom. So you either don't go to the bathroom very much, or you have to buy your own toilet paper. And there's like one dishwasher tab or 2 dishwasher tabs or whatever. And the same in Valencia, there was like one toilet paper. Like, it's very much like you're on your own. We're not gonna provide you with any sort of amenities whatsoever. And then we got to this villa, and it was like, they left bread and milk and meat in the fridge for us. And like it was like it is their home. It's their beach home that they rent out. And we just immediately felt like we immediately felt at home when we were there. So it was really, really great. So yeah, I don't want to keep waxing on and on and on about it. But we had the most incredible trip. Yeah, I think that was all that I had to talk about today. I think that's probably long enough. I think I'm probably at like an hour and a half or something, which is silly, but I did have a lot of knitting to show. So I probably won't be back for another month, I think, because we're home this week and next week, and then we're going out to the cabin, and then going to Seattle to meet Nicole. Yay! So next time I see you, I will have been to the cabin, and I will have been to Flock. I'm sure I'll have lots of yarn to show you from Flock. I'm gonna spend so much money there. I'm kind of afraid, actually, because there's so many amazing vendors there. So many amazing vendors. Like all the amazing like American vendors that I follow, that I'm always like, oh, I really want to order that yarn, and I just can't, because ordering stuff from the States is just ridiculous. But if you spend enough money to go to, not spend enough money, but like if you go to the States and you're there already, you might as well buy the yarn, right? Because you don't have to pay for the shipping and the duty, right? I don't know. Anyway, there are a lot of really, really amazing vendors that are going to be there, so I'm a little afraid of how much yarn I'm going to buy. But yeah, it's going to be fun. And then the weekend after that is Knit City Calgary. So I don't know, I'll probably podcast, I don't know when. Either after I get home from Flock, or I might wait until after Knit City Calgary. I'm not sure. It's going to be a lot of knitting get-togethers and lots of visiting with people, and it's going to be really fun. So anyway, I'll stop rambling, start editing, and thank you for sticking around. Like I said on my last podcast, I'm over 1,500 subscribers now. That's why I was doing my giveaway. I'm still this close to 3,000 followers on Instagram. I think I'm only like maybe 20 away now. So that's coming along, and it doesn't really matter. Numbers don't really matter. But when I hit numbers like that, I'm always just really thankful that you guys enjoy the things that I make and enjoy watching me and the silliness on my YouTube channel. And I appreciate you guys sticking around. So that's why I wanted to do a giveaway. And yeah, so I hope you guys are all enjoying your summer so far, and hope you're getting lots of knitting time in. And yeah, I'll see you next time.